Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Since opening in 1958 as the Ramby Raceway dirt track, through its transition to pavement in 1974 to today, Myrtle Beach Speedway has not only been the scene of great weekly action, but a springboard for stock car racing royalty. 4 generations of Petties, Lee, Richard, Kyle, and Adam. 3 generations of Earnhardts, Ralph, Dale Jr., and Kelly cut their teeth at the South Carolina track, where the list of winners includes the likes of Buck Baker, Dick Hutcherson, David Pearson. Ned Jarrett earned his first victory in what is now known as the NASCAR Cup Series here in 1959. The semi-banked half mile is home of the annual Myrtle Beach 400 and Icebreaker 200 late model races, and hosts weekly NASCAR Whelen All-American Series races, as well as various classes including late model Charger, super trucks, and mini stocks. In 2020, the track was sold to a land developer with intentions of building hotels and condos. That deal has since become old news, and for now, the track remains dormant. Jump for the likes of the iRacing community. Tonight, the TRS Tour Modifieds will take to the track, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening once again, everyone. Welcome to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach Speedway TRS Tour Modified Series in action here tonight. Practice just about wrapping up here at the Speedway. Just a few minutes remaining. Alfie Sharon top on the board. Good field so far. We've got 20 cars to take laps so far at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Going to be a good one in store for everyone in the stream tonight. And 80 laps here tonight at Myrtle Beach Speedway. They've got 2 sets of tires to play with if they decide to go that route, and 2 fast repairs if, God forbid, they do need it. They more than likely probably only going to see, if any, tire changes, maybe 1 set. I can't imagine anybody's going to take 2 unless the circumstances are just perfect for it. Typically, we see these guys able to make it all the way to the end of the race without changing tires. In some cases, the cars even handle a little bit better on the old rubber, but we'll have to see how that plays out later on in the event. Before we get too deep into the broadcast, definitely have to thank sponsors. It is the TRS Modified Series, theracingschool.net. Head on over to that website, theracingschool.net. Check out what they have in store. If you're interested in driving a real race car, they've got what you're looking for. Check them out, theracingschool.net. And by D. Dixon & Sons Trucking Incorporated. Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. And Litchfield Specialty, LSI Litchfield Specialty, another associate sponsor of the OG Racing League and the TRS Tour Modified Series. Alfie Sharon top on the board, as we said a moment ago, a 17:86, the best lap time for the number 78 driver. I took about 4 laps before the broadcast, not on my usual monitor. While looking to the right, I was only able to get about an 18:30, so half a second slow on my part, but either way, quick time. Alfie Sharon certainly setting the mark here in practice before we get into the qualifying session, just 15 seconds before this session wraps up. Healthy field of ground pounders here tonight. Myrtle Beach Speedway looks like 21 so far registered. Higher top 10 in practice, separated by 1/10 of a second. Qualifying is going to be fun to watch. Rolls out first. Looks like it is Dustin Painter. Green flag waves on lap 1, and Dustin Painter loose into turns 1 and 2 already. A throwaway lap 1 for the 65. Lap 2 still an opportunity though. Painter was quick in practice. We'll see what he can throw down here in the qualifying session. Quick time for Painter. Yeah, it is 18:188. Puts him top of the board. Dustin Painter, not for long though. Looks like Cody Harger, his second lap in 18:148. Put the 66 on the front row. Man, this is a familiar story. Mike Castro, his first lap in 18:54. Second in 18:33. That's top 5 times so far. Meanwhile, Dan Murphy Jr. puts his modified on the top of the board, 18:118 for the number 41 machine. And these guys all after the fact here. Aaron Conover, the number 20 machine. Let's see what kind of time he can get here. Oh, loose off a 4 in the fence. Don't think he checked in a first lap either. Maybe got a piece of the wall to basically negate both of those laps. The 20 is going to start from the rear. Still waiting on some heavy hitters here to hit the track. Alfie Sharon in the 78, Brian Torsha. Shane Wagner usually pretty quick in these modifieds as well. He sits at the end of pit lane. Not sure if he had trouble on his first lap, but he still sits there waiting to roll out. He still has an opportunity to check in a time if he so chooses. Carson Conway taking to the track here on his out lap, working into turn number 3. Carson Conway, lap 1 in 18:71, good enough for 12th. Meanwhile, Alfie Sharon clocks in his first lap, 18:954 for the number 78. Alfie was quickest in practice. Let's see if he can back it up here on his second lap in qualifying. Into turns 3 and 4, off the corner. What's it gonna be? Carson Conway picks up his time. Does Alfie as well? Yes, he does. Puts him in the top 3, 18:173 for the number 78 of Alfie Sharon. Brian Torsha on the backstretch into turn number 3 as well. This is his qualifying attempt as he comes to the green flag. All right, this is the end of his first time lap, 18:81 for the number 2 machine. Any better on lap 2? 10th quick for the number 2, 18.401 seconds for the 2 of Brian Torsha. The Cody Fogg is out there getting ready to take the green. Lap 1 of 2. A couple other cars left to go. Joe Marks, Bob Higgins, Josh Buckley. And not everybody takes a time every race. Sometimes guys just choose to start out near the back. Let the riffraff work itself out. Lap 1 for Cody Fogg, 18:51, good enough for 12th. We'll see if he can pick things up and put that car in the top 10. Second lap for Cody Fogg, 18:317. Good enough for 6. Definitely made it in the top 10 there. Good lap for the 58. And we've got 3 cars still in the session registered to run this race. Joe Marks, Bob Higgins, Shane Wagner, still with about 4.5 minutes left in the qualifying session. If they so choose, take to the track, throw down a qualifying time. If not, they'll start near the rear of the field. No worries. Again, plenty of time. We do have 80 laps of racing action coming your way just after this session. We will take a very short break in between. We will be back for certain. You guys hit the track, or if we get ready to go to the starting grid, TRS Tour Modified Series from Myrtle Beach Speedway. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach Speedway. 80 laps in store here tonight for the TRS Tour Modified Series from the unfortunately now closed Myrtle Beach Speedway, but again, it lives on here in the iRacing Sim. Practice is wrapped up, qualifying just about done, maybe 15-20 seconds here before we call it a session. You can check out our starting grid here from the Speedway, and then 80 laps to decide it here from Myrtle Beach. Coming up soon. Looking forward to it. Good field on hand. 21 cars in the show. Field rolling out to the pit lane here, getting gridded up, ready to take one of two formation laps. Let's take a look at our starting field for the TRS Tour Modified Series from Myrtle Beach. On the pole, it's the 41 of Dan Murphy Jr., who is outside the 66 of Cody Harger. Starting in row number 2, it is the 78 of Alfie Sharon with Sharon Racing, and to his outside, the 65 of Dustin Painter. Row number 3, it is Dan Butler with the Racing School, the number 18 machine, to his outside, Cody Fogg in the 58. Mike Taschereau starts from the 7th position with Jamie Kerr starting 8th. Tom Melnick in the 00 will start 9th with TRS Motorsports, with Carson Conway with Holler Boys Racing. The number 72 will start 10th. Ryan Torsha, the number 2, the Truck Series champion with OG Racing, will start 11th, with Dale Legan starting 12th. Starting 13th, it's Rob Higgins in the 40 with Pete Woodrum in the 8th, starting 14th. Starting 15th, it's Bill Voracek with Ben Choate to his outside in the 16th starting position. Josh Buckley in the 13 with Aaron Conover, that's 17th and 18th. 19th is Bob Higgins with Shane Wagner 20th. 21st, last car in the field, number 4, Joe Marks. It's your starting grid here from the Myrtle Beach Speedway, the TRS Tour Modified Series, just about ready to get underway. First of 2 formation laps are complete. Let's go down trackside for the start. Pace car peels off in the entrance to turn 3. That is pit road entrance.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Dan Murphy Jr. off and running. Cody Harger to the outside. Awful wide entry for the 66. Alfie Sharon down low into the 2nd spot already. Field around 4 to work off lap number 1, already in the books. Get around this place in a hurry, sub 18 seconds usually. So far 22 seconds on the opening lap. See that number come down quite a bit here as they cross the stripe. Dan Murphy Jr. looking strong already, putting the gap back to 2nd spot. 18.41 seconds, first full lap under power. We do have a caution though. Looks like Cody Fogg possibly involved. Few cars involved. This could be a big one. Cody Fogg, Rob Higgins, Carson Conway, Dale Legan. Oh boy. Take a look at it. See what we can see on the replay. See Carson Conway parked there in turns 1 and 2. Camera on the 72, the 58 slow off the corner, and everybody just piles into turn number 1. Downside to being early on in the race, just collects half the field there. Let's look at this one more time. You see Cody Fogg looks like he got crossed up off of 4. Slow it down a bit here. Slow motion. This is turn 4. 75 of Jamie Kerr down low. The 72 of Carson Conway behind him. 58 of Fogg, that white and black machine up high. Does he scrape the wall off exit? Like he may have. Yeah, little sparks there. Definitely got in the fence. The 72 of Conway tries to avoid. A little bit of netcode there, unfortunately, for both drivers. Gets a piece of the 58. Around he goes in front of the field. The melee is on from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost 10 cars involved here early on. Myrtle Beach Speedway. We got trouble. Good news is 2 fast repairs tonight for 80 laps at Myrtle Beach. So that's going to burn 1 for a lot of these guys, but they're not out of it yet. They'll get down to pit lane, get those things repaired, and back in the hunt. Got a few guys over the Facebook side watching and YouTube as well. Jamie Kerr, even though he's driving. Chris Goins becoming a regular. Don Harger, same thing. Terry Ansley's watching. Thomas McMullen from Scar watching. Cheering on Cody, Natalie Bravo, cheering on Aaron Conover, I think. If I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, just please let me know. That's not going to go over well. 7 laps in at Myrtle Beach. Dan Murphy Jr. It's kind of early, but man, does he look strong right out of the gate. He's putting a distance back at the second place right off the bat. Couple laps in. See if he can do it again here as the pace car peels off the backstretch into the turn 3 pit entrance. Waiting on the flagman. 41 goes. Dan Murphy Jr. in the throttle. We're back underway from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Car's a little slow at the back of the pack. Not sure if they got together, but they kept it straight, so we stay under green. And as soon as I say that, we've got an incident on track. Shane Wagner, Ben Schote. Okay, Shane Wagner, the 26, Ben Schote to the outside. Looks like the red 21 machine. Wagner slides up just a bit, gets to the left side Nerf bar. Around both cars go. Minimal damage to these guys, if any. Enough to bring out the yellow, but they'll continue on, drive away from the scene, and get back in this thing. Quick little half mile here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, especially with these Tour modifieds. Lightweight, lots of power. Big, fat, slick tires. Yeah, they'll get around here in a hurry. Half a mile, and right now the best lap time looks like an 18:30. That is Dan Murphy Jr. at the front. Again, clean air making a big difference here. Being in traffic, a little bit hairy for these guys. So far, that's been the case. Shouldn't need fuel. A couple of laps I did run really just to kind of figure out what the fuel window was going to be. It's an 80-lap race. Even at maximum fuel burn, I think we could have gone 93 laps before needing to stop. We've already had a couple of cautions, so that is just getting higher and higher as far as how long these cars can run. If anybody does take fuel tonight, likely just going to be to balance the car back out to their liking. Maybe they'll stop and get some tires and not take fuel. That's always a possibility as well. And fixed setup racing here in the TRS Tour Modified Series, so not a whole lot of adjustments that you can make. Can't mess with tire pressure, can't mess with tape or anything like that. You can play with your brake bias a little bit. You can change steering ratio. Of course, that's got to be done in the garage, so that's not an in-race adjustment. The only thing you can really do is shift weight by opting to go with or without fuel. To be honest, at about 7 pounds, 8 pounds a gallon, granted that's water weight, that's a lot of weight to be moving front to back in these race cars. If you decide not to get fuel, that's going to significantly change the handling on just about any race car that's tuned by its weight. Curious to see if these guys take advantage of that later on, but enough of that. Pace car is in. Green flag about to come back out after our second caution. Dan Murphy Jr. brings him down. He's in the gas. A good restart again by the 41. Puts a car length to 2 back to the 78 of Alfie Sharon as they work into 1. Again, I know it is early. We haven't had a real long run yet, but Dan Murphy Jr. looking stout in front of the field so far. 15 laps in, half of them under caution, and we have another one.
We have got a very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
Bob Higgins involved. Let's see what happened with Bob Higgins. Bob in the 43 machine up high, that black, gray, and red. Contact with the 21 at Schote. 43 gets spun into turn number 1. It was minimal contact, but again, you had the ability to reach out the right side window and push this car sideways. You could certainly do it when they're under load. Brings out our third caution of the event. Wave around Lucky Dog up high. Looked like that might have been Cody Fogg going around. Yes, indeed. Carson Conway will have to wait for the next one. Carson might be out of the race already. I think he had a whole lot of damage. Interesting. Lights are off atop the iRacing pace car. We're going single file restart. Trying to jump it there, the 78, maybe some contact with the 41. Back in the gas, though, at the line, green flags waving. And Murphy Jr. out front, Alfie Sharon second, Harger third, Painter fourth, Jamie Kerr in the fifth spot. Dan Murphy Jr. and Alfie Sharon just starting to get into a rhythm, and we've got another yellow. Dale Legan, Ben Choate, Bob Higgins. Let's take a look, see what happened. The 05 of Legan. Oh, Ben Choate loses it by himself, it looks like, up front. Big impact by the 05 of Dale Legan. Cody Fogg just gets a tiny bit of it there at the end. Take a look at this again. Ben Choate now. Slow it down a bit. Ben Choate the 21 down low. This is off turn number 4. I don't know if Ben makes contact with the 8 of Pete Woodrum. Like that's going to happen here again. It's net code. They didn't actually touch, but the 21 gets the reaction as if there was contact, sends him down the grass. Not a whole lot of grip down there. Got it locked up. Sliding across the track though in front of the 05 of Dale Legan. Boom. Confetti. Sometimes it's good to be in the sim, because that would have been a bad day. Back to green flag action. That was quick. Lap 25 of 80. We're speeding things up under yellow. Sorry we missed the restart there, but Dan Murphy Jr. still out front. Not much has changed there. Alfie Sharon, second spot. Cody Harger, third. Dustin Painter, fourth. Jamie Kerr is fifth. There it is. Alfie Sharon to the top spot. Gets around the 41. We were live when it happened. Let's go take another look at the pass for the lead, though. Didn't expect it to come as quick as it did, but there it is. Heading into turn number 1. Alfie had a run off of 4. Takes the low lane. Takes the position away. Great move by the 78 of Alfie Sharon. At Dustin Painter in the 4th spot. Little pressure coming from behind with Jamie Kerr in the number 75 machine. Jamie's up a few spots already since the start of the race. Kind of surprising to see that already. I know we're 30 laps in. We've had a lot of caution flags. This is so far the longest green flag stretch we have had, knock on wood. Let's keep it going. These guys are looking sharp here at the front of the field. Let's give it an opportunity here while we can. Let's go through the field. And caution out. I'm the curse tonight. Broadcaster brings up the yellow and out it comes. Shane Wagner involved in one here. Let's see what happened with the 26. 26 up top. Pete Woodrum in the 8 just below. Checks up. Ooh, the 26 just gets in the fence off of 2. Like Shane just lost the nose a bit. Then the rear end wanted to come around. He tried to correct it, put it right in the fence. Tough break for the 26. Been a wild one so far. Amazingly, just 6 laps away from the halfway point. Race is clicking off in a hurry, even with the cautions. Top 5 right now. Alfie Sharon is the leader, up a couple of spots since the green flag. Started 3rd. Recently got around the 41 of Dan Murphy Jr. with a brilliant move into turn number 1. Running in the 2nd spot, of course, Dan Murphy Jr. started on the pole position here this evening. Looked very strong in the early going. Still looking strong in the 2nd spot. Cody Harger out of Calhoun, Louisiana in the 66. Took a couple of races off. He is back here in the modified series running 3rd. Dustin Painter in the 65, the My Cricket Makes Truck Series champion. He runs in the 4th spot. Jamie Kerr, number 75, Holler Boys Racing TV Machine. The number 75 sits there in the 5th position. We're formed up here. Looks like we're going to go back to green, so we're going to hold off on the spotlight. Pace car is in. Alfie Sharon in the throttle. We're back underway at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Good restart by the 78. Cody Harger down to the inside of the 41. Cody up to the 2nd spot. Dan Murphy now back to 3rd. Trouble maybe off of turn 2. Not quite. They gather it up. Jamie Kerr, Dustin Painter, maybe some contact off the corner. They get away with it. Painter, the number 65, still to the outside. 75 of Jamie Kerr down low, and we have another caution. Bill Voracek, Cody Fogg involved in this one. Let's take a look, see what we can see. 9, the white machine up top. Cody Fogg, the 8, just ahead. Ooh, looks like the 00 of Melnick maybe got into that. Let's rewind this again. That happened fast. Slow things down here. Okay, the 9 of Voracek up top. The black machine down low. That is Tom Melnick. The 8 of Pete Woodrum. Contact made. Melnick slides up just a bit. Not sure if it's from the contact or trying to miss, but hits the 9 of Voracek, collects the 43 and the 58 of Cody Fogg. Brings out caution once again here at the Speedway. Not sure if we're going to go back to single file restarts here or not. That seemed somewhat effective earlier on in the race. A lot of times when these guys have consecutive yellows back to back, they'll switch the restart to a single file restart is to kind of stretch the field out a bit, gives everybody a little bit more racing room. You hope to settle into a bit of a rhythm. Just past the halfway point here for Myrtle Beach Speedway. Yep, pace car lights are off. Looks like we're going to go single file restart this time. If that'll clean things up a bit. Pace car ducks off the racetrack. Alfie holding the field down nice and slow. On the 78 to fire. Alfie's in the throttle, gets away just a bit over the 66 of Cody Harger. They work into turn number 1. Pulling away from the 66 of Harger. Dan Murphy Jr. work into the back bumper of Cody Harger, trying to take back that second spot. That is the battle on the racetrack for now, but the 41 of Murphy Jr. has got a mirror full of Jamie Kerr. The number 75 wants a piece of this action. 44 laps in, coming to 45. Good battle for second, third, and fourth here. Jamie Kerr down low. Maybe did he get there when the caution came out? Hard to say. We do have a yellow. Aaron Conover, Pete Woodrum, Brian Torsha involved. And we slow him down once again. Start it with the 20 of Conover, see what happens here. Conover slips up the track off of 4, rolls it almost, collects the 2, collects the 8. Everybody a mess into turn number 1 once again. Watch that one again here from another perspective. 20 of Aaron Conover working into 3 and 4 here. This is the exit of turn 4 from the pits perspective. Yeah, just gets up in the fence and rides the wall. Almost puts that number 20 on its lid. Spins around, comes back down hard, but gets collected by the 2 of Brian Torsha. You see Buckley, the 13, working by. The 8 of Pete Woodrum trying to scoot on by. Does end up collecting the 2. Voracek gets in there. Little contact with the 43. Tough break. Well, the single file didn't do us any good there this time. Usually it helps. Sometimes these things are unavoidable. Looks like Conover, like I said, just overdrove it a little bit on exit of 4. Puts that number 20 machine in the fence, almost upside down. Either way, a big wreck. Coming to 32 laps to go.
Not going.
Waved off the green flag. We're going to give it another shot. We are going to go. No, pace car lights are on. Yep, we're going to go around one more time. They've waved off this restart here. Not sure if they're just trying to get everybody lined back up. A couple of guys out of position still. Trying to keep it fair for everybody involved. Sometimes it's hard to get the lineup spot on these short tracks. Pace car rejoins on the backstretch, I think just long enough to leave the racing surface again. Yep, there he goes. Let's give it another shot. Alfie Sharon, Cody Harger, Dan Murphy Jr., Jamie Kerr, Dustin Painter, the top 5 as we're getting ready to go back to green. Alfie's in the gas, the 78 on the move. Green flag's waving. Good restart by Alfie into turn number 1. We've got a battle again. Cody Harger, Dan Murphy Jr. Jamie Kerr has looked stout here tonight as well. He is slowly but surely working his way towards the front. 75 Holler Boys Racing TV machine looking really good here tonight. This is where the battle is at, though. Second, third, and fourth. These guys, you could throw a blanket underneath them right now. Jamie Kerr up to the 3rd spot. Might have the 41 clear, maybe not. Murphy Jr. battles back on the outside into 3 and 4. The 75 may have gotten a little loose off exit, allowing the 41 to stay with him, but now Jamie does have Murphy Jr. clear off of turn number 2. Officially moved the 75. Jamie Kerr to the 3rd spot. Dustin Painter now putting pressure on Dan Murphy Jr. as well. It was really strong on fresh tires early on in the run. It's not working out later on here for the 41. Starting to slide back, still sitting top 5, but got the 5th place machine of Dustin Painter wanting to take over the 4th spot. Top 3 remain the same. Sharon, Parker, Jamie Kerr. Dustin Painter still trying to find a way around the 41 of Dan Murphy Jr. 6th position, Dan Butler. 7th, Rob Higgins. 8th, Mike Castro. Haven't heard that name much tonight. Mike was running real quick times in practice. In fact, some guys were really looking to Mike to help him out with how to get around this place. 25 laps to go, though, from Myrtle Beach. If Castro wants to work his way towards the front, it's time to go. Mike is real fast into turn number 1, trying to knock on the door. Rob Higgins, that number 40 machine. Just in front of Rob is the 18 of Dan Butler. Contact made between the 40 and the 18. Maybe a little bit from the 33 as well. Oh, had to check up off the corners to not wreck the 40. It's going to cost Castro a little bit of ground, but he's right back at it into turn number 1. Battle continuing. Dan Murphy Jr. trying to hold off the 65 of Dustin Painter. That is still the battle on the racetrack with 22 laps to go. Dan Murphy Jr. in the 4th position. Dustin Painter 5th. A little loose by Jamie Kerr there off the corner. Everybody gathers it up. All this battling in the back of the pack, really front of the pack. This is for 3rd down back. Allowed our top 2, Sharon and Harger, to pull away from the rest of the field. Ooh, contact made. The 40's in the fence. The 13 of Buckley gets collected.
How's my radio been today? Can you hear me fine?
Higgins and Buckley involved here. 19 laps to go. Let's take a look. Get a better perspective of it. See what happened. See the 40 of Rob Higgins. That is a black and orange car down low. In 2 cars back is the 13 of Buckley. That I think is blue and black. 40's going to get into the wall here off the exit of 4. I don't know if there was contact with the 18 or not. Yeah, just a tick. Loosens up to 40. Higgins in the fence. Of course, he's going to bounce off of that into traffic. Going to catch the 13 of Buckley. Buckley goes up the track. 43, he scoots on by. Under caution here late in the race. Less than 20 laps to go. I'll take a moment to thank the sponsors once again. It is the TRS Tour Modified Series, the racingschool.net. Go onto that website, check them out, see what they have to offer. If you want to sit in the real race car and take some laps around Thompson Speedway, check them out right away. D. Dixon & Sons Trucking Incorporated. Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. And LSI Litchfield Specialty, associate sponsor of the TRS Tour Modified Series. Lights go out on the iRacing pace car. We're going to go back to green this time by. Looks like another single file restart here at Myrtle Beach. Try and get us a green flag finish here all the way to the end. We'll have 13 to go when we get the green. Pace car peels off. Now we wait for the 78. Get into the throttle. Alfie's in the gas. Green flag's waving. Great restart by the 78. Put some distance back to the 66 of Harger. Harger's got a car length to 2 back to Jamie Kerr. Then it's Dustin Painter, Dan Murphy Jr. That is the top 5. Off turn number 4. The gap now a car length and a half back to the 66. We do have a battle here for the 3rd spot, though. Dustin Painter trying to work his way through. Jamie Kerr has got that 3rd spot, but Dustin Painter looking strong. And then number 65 wants to get around. Looks like he could drive away if he does. 10 laps to go from Myrtle Beach to settle it. Little wiggle out of Jamie Kerr as they work into turn number 1. Little bump, maybe a little rub. The 65 goes around off turn number 2. Does he have him clear? Not yet. The 75 battles back on the high side into 3. Trying to get back to the gas. Nope. Going to sit down on the bottom to protect the position that he's got. That's going to move Jamie back to 4th. And Murphy Jr. in the 5th spot. He was trying to take advantage. Dustin Painter, though, has gotten around, moved the 65 to position number 3. Up front, though, looks like we may have a battle for the lead with less than 7 laps to go. Right on board with Cody Harger off turn number 4. 6 laps to go. Alfie Sharon doing a wonderful job holding off the advance from the 66 machine, but Cody is right there. Last lap, they both ran identical lap times, a 17:94 out of both drivers. Cody gets into the wall into turn number 4, just a touch. Loses a couple of car lengths. That's something that the 78 certainly wanted to see. Cody's going to have to battle back to get back to where he was. Dustin Painter in the 3rd spot is pulling away from the rest of the guys in behind. Pretty good distance back to that number 65. Unless we get a caution, I don't see the 65 playing a role here with the victory. It's going to come down to the 78 or the 66. Off turn number 4, it's 3 laps to go for Alfie Sharon. The 78 looking strong. Two laps to go for Alfie Sharon, and he will collect another checkered flag. 3/4 of a mile, and it'll be his. He's just got to keep that black and gold number 66 in the rear view mirror. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Cody down low, taking a peek, but nothing doing for the 66. Alfie's got the lead off the backstretch into turn number 3 for the final time. Off turn number 4, checkered flag waving. Alfie Sharon is your winner. Myrtle Beach, the TRS Tour Modified Series, belongs to Alfie Sharon. 2nd place, Cody Harger. 3rd, Dustin Painter. Dan Murphy Jr. was 4th. Mike Castro, talked about him earlier, slowly worked his way up into a top 5 finish. Rob Higgins was 6th. Brian Torsha 7th. Butler 8th. 9th was Bob Higgins, and Jamie Kerr rounds out your top 10. He just pulls it through the pit lane there. Taking that extra lap. All right, well, that wraps up the on-track activity. We're going to take a short break and be back with our top 3 finishers for interviews. Hopefully top 3, at least a couple of them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The TRS Tour Modified Series race is in the books. Alfie Sharon is victorious. Let's go to Alfie right now. Get a quick word with our winner. Alfie Sharon, congratulations on the victory. You got a copy? Alfie, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You with us?
I got you, buddy. How's it going?
It's going well, sir. Again, another victory for the 78. Alfie, congratulations. You started 3rd, took the lead over not too much longer after we went to green here. At least got a long green flag run. It seemed that Dan Murphy Jr. not so great on the long run. You were. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I used my tires up a little bit getting around him, trying to follow his line and everything. So toward the end, they were kind of getting a little loose. So I had to brake early to get into the corner without trying to loop it because I knew Harger was coming.
Hey, Cody was looking strong there at the end, but it didn't look like he had just quite enough to get by. He could certainly catch you. Also got into the inside wall off of turn 4 at one point, so that certainly didn't help things. But either way, you come out victorious. It was a good win for you. You found your winning ways once again. What's been the secret?
Just trying to be patient and just trying to look for the passes when they present themselves to me and just trying to make the right moves at the right time and trying to just be consistent is all I'm trying to do for now.
Certainly consistency paying off since you're typically in that top 3 just about every race. It works out pretty good for you, Alfie. Congratulations once again. The TRS Tour Modified Series race from Myrtle Beach Speedway is yours. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Just got to thank TRS, Sharon's Racing, and you for broadcasting this, and Clan and every admin and OG for putting all these races on. It's been a blast.
All right, Alfie, again, congratulations, and we'll see you Saturday for the ARCA Series at Las Vegas.
Got it.
Next up, we'll go to Cody Harger, the 2nd place finisher. Cody, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Cody Harger, you managed to bring it home 2nd place. You took a race or 2 off here in the OG Racing League. Welcome back for starters, but a 2nd place finish, not quite the win that you were hoping for. Tell us about your night.
Hey man, I'm pretty tickled with the 2nd place. I had to get up at 3:30 this morning. I live in northern Louisiana, and I had to drive to Alabama for work a little bit, and then drive back. I literally got home 15 minutes before we qualified, and by the time I got logged in, I only got about 8 minutes of practice on this track, and I've never run these cars here before. And this setup was pretty tricky, as you might figured out by our early race festivities there. But no, I turned a decent lap in qualifying. I just wasn't aggressive enough early on, because I didn't know what the car would and wouldn't do in traffic, and so took it a little easy there. Early really took me half the race or so to kind of figure out how hard I could run it in. Figured it out, but you know, this place, just about everything you race here, it's, you know, track position is really key. So I don't know. I mean, there was no way I was going to get around Alfie at all. I mean, I don't even know if I was faster than him. I mean, there was times where he'd pull on me, I'd pull on him, but I definitely know I wasn't near fast enough to pass him without wrecking him. So, you know, with that said, second place, no major incidents. I'll take it.
Well, neither one of you had the fastest lap of the race, so I'll say that much. But the last lap of the race, I think, was a 17:93 for Alfie and a 17:96 for you. So pretty close. I don't think that the contact with the inside pit wall made you any favors there late in the race. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, man. I got pretty comfortable earlier in 1 and 2, but never really was kind of super comfortable in 3 and 4. I got decently quick there that last 15 laps after that last caution, but still just wasn't super comfortable. And I'd be honest with you, I think I just turned it just a little too much, and it touched the left front touched that little piece of grass, or the left rear touched that little piece of grass right there on the wall, and kind of rotated the car, and the left front got in it. I saw the suspension move. It might have been towed in a little bit. And yeah, definitely, you know, like I said, I still don't think I could have gotten around Alfie, but at that point I lost a little bit of ground and really spent 3 or 4 laps trying to get back to him that I could have spent working on him had I not done that. But hey, such is life. Second place, I'll take it.
Either way, it was a good show to watch. Thought you might have him there at the end. Either way, second place, not too shabby. Congratulations, Cody. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, just thank the guys here at OG Racing League for letting me run with them. Thank the sponsor of the Modifieds, TRS, and all the other league sponsors, D. Dixon, Sudar Taxidermy, LSI, all of them that help put this on. Like I say, every time I'm in here, I enjoy running with these guys, and we're definitely like this category that of the tour mods. Shout out to Plasmine, always. It's on my car. They're a big help. Love supporting them. And again, Steve, thank you with HBR TV for broadcasting.
It's Cody Harger, ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Next up, we'll go to third place finisher Dustin Painter. Dustin, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy, man?
I got you loud and clear.
Once again, talking to the driver, the number 65 at the end of a race. You're doing well here. Top threes all around. Tell us about your night. You quietly stalked these guys till late in the race. All of a sudden, you come plowing through the field, and third place is where you end up. Tell us about it.
Yeah, just kind of hate. I got shoveled back a little bit on a restart and wound up, I think, fifth. I just had to drive the thing hard to get back to third. I noticed that Kerr got a little bit tight, and Dan Murphy Jr. was a little bit tight. So I was able to get around those two, but at the end, I had no tire left because I went so hard. So third place, I'll take it. The overall is a decent race.
Certainly entertaining to watch. We had the camera focused on you for a little bit there while you did some battle with the 75 of Jamie Kerr. That was certainly fun to watch, and really watching you work your way from sixth to third in the late stages of the race. You put on a show out there, man. It was definitely a good time to watch.
Thanks, man. It was fun. Overall, tough track for the modifieds. Just no grip whatsoever. It's true life modifieds were at Myrtle Beach. It was hard to get any grip at Myrtle Beach. Guys would ride around till about 30 laps to go, and then you'd see everybody go. So it's kind of true to the form.
Sure is fun to drive when they're hard to drive, though, isn't it?
It is. I love a car that's really, really loose.
All right, Dustin. Well, again, congratulations. Well done, sir. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Just Danny Bone Racing, all his sponsors, North America Motor Car, and just overall, just that. And then, like I said, the racing school that always sponsors the modifieds. And overall, it's a good race tonight. Congratulations to Alfie on the win.
Dustin Painter, third place finisher here from Myrtle Beach. TRS Tour Modified Series in the books. Let's go through the finishing order here at the track. Of course, Alfie Sharon we spoke with finished in the first spot, takes the checkered flag. The number 78 was Sharon Racing. Cody Harger, first race back after a short hiatus, finishes in the second position. Dustin Painter we just spoke with, number 65 machine, got shuffled back there for a little bit, fought back towards the front, takes home a top three. Dan Murphy Jr., the pole sitter, looked real stout early going. Unfortunately, only a fourth place finish for Dan Murphy Jr. It's certainly respectable with a 21 car field. Top five, I'm sure he's not pleased with it because I bet he thought he had enough to contend for a win, and certainly I thought he did at some point. Mike Castro, top 5 for the 33 machine. Again, we saw him running 8th or 9th late in the race. Again, fought his way into a top 5. Well done for the 33. Rob Higgins with Higgins Hill Racing finishes in the 6th position. Brian Torsha finishes 7th. Dan Butler, the number 18 machine with the Racing School, finishes 8th. Bob Higgins finishes 9th. And Jamie Kerr, Black Acid Custom Racing Apparel and Holler Boys Racing TV, finishes 10th. Josh Buckley, number 13, finishes 11th. Pete Woodrum, the number 8, finishes 12th with 304 Motorsports. Bill Voracek was 13th. Cody Fogg was 14th. 15th, Aaron Conover. Tom Melnick was 16th. Shane Wagner, 17th. 18th was Ben Choate. 19th was... That's it. I have conflicting reports. Marks and Carson Conway looks like they round out the field here. Well, either way, that's your top 18 at least. Technical difficulties are wonderful. Well, either way, that's going to do it for us here at HBR TV. The TRS Tour Modified Series has come to a conclusion. Alfie Sharon is victorious. Cody Harger second, Dustin Painter third. Before we get out, let's make mention once more time. TRS, theracing-school.net. It is the TRS Tour Modified Series. Thank TRS for their support of the series and helping this get done every week. T. Dixon and Sons Trucking Incorporated. And to Sudath Taxidermy, competition quality at a commercial price. Contact award-winning taxidermist James Sudath at 636-544-7836. And in association with LSI Litchfield Specialty, associate sponsor of the TRS Tour Modified Series. And to all of you in the stream, checking in, saying hello, or just kind of creeping, watching it along, but not saying hi. It's okay, I guess I'll allow it. I appreciate every one of you guys that do say hello and tune in and watch the streams every week. It does mean a lot that you're here, whether it's 10 of you or 20 of you or even more. It's 5 of you. It's just 1 of you. I don't care. Say hello. Give me someone to talk to. Lonely. Tell me a story. Don't tell me a story. But do like, follow, subscribe, share. Facebook.com/HollerBoys Racing TV. Also find us on YouTube, Holler Boys Racing TV. Thank you everyone again for tuning in and watching. Join us Saturday, 7:45 in the East for the LSI ARC series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.